took a new path, no other than Mr. Jian Changlong. Welcome to Book 101, Mr. GM, and can you please introduce more about yourself?
Hello, hi. Thank you, Daniel, for having me on your show. Yes, my name is Giam Cheong Leong. A lot of people may call me Giam. I am trying to promote my book today called A New Path, my journey into from pet sorry, my a new path, my journey from corporate into hospice and palliative care leadership.
So, Mr. GM, what inspired you to transition from the corporate world into hospice and palliative care leadership?
Thank you for the question. A lot of people ask me this. It's really one day when I was sitting in the boardroom and I have decided to craft my second phase of my life. And with all humility and um, the universe has made it as such, I was able to land on the community hospital job that head the clinical operations. And since then, I was also then headhunted to lead a non-profit organization. And since then, I've not looked back. I have been in the hospice and palliative care landscape for the last 7 years.
Mr. GM, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge to the world and looking forward for empowering books like this. So, what were the biggest challenges you face when making such a significant career change?
Well, it's really very humble and challenging journey. The biggest challenge, I suppose, is moving from corporate to a healthcare sector that is completely new to me. And a lot of time in the healthcare sector, decisions are made using which is mainly dominating by the healthcare professionals. And the challenge I face would be how to balance efficiency with empathy and to work alongside with the professionals, the healthcare professionals, to deliver the patient care and at the same time running an efficient organization.
So, Mr. JM, how did you corporate experience shape your approach to hospice and palliative care?
Thank you for the question again. So through my journey, I really have to listen and at the same time learn concurrently in the landscape of hospice and palliative care. A lot of time, decisions, as I mentioned, are made upon empathy, compassion, and dignity of care to the patient. So, to balance efficiency with empathy, I would have to work alongside the healthcare professionals in a different way. I see myself bringing corporate skills like strategic thinking, resource management, and financial planning to bridge gaps in how I could run the organization more efficiently. So I will therefore build myself as a partner with the healthcare professionals to deliver the type of dignity care to the patient. And I see myself as an enabler to allow these healthcare professionals to do their work best on the ground.
So, what personal values drove your decision to pursue a career in empathy or empathy care?
I'm a person that would like to always make people happy, and I also have a lot of passion to make sure that people around me are successful. So these are the values that I would like to bring, and I always adhere to in my life. And with my journey in the corporate world to where I am today, I find that the values of um, enabling people to be successful, to make people happy, are the two values that I have been holding on to and making me journeying in this hospice and palliative care. Uh, uh, yeah, with humility and compassion. Yeah.
What role does empathy play in your leadership within this field?
Oh, empathy is a big thing. You know, in the healthcare sector, we would need to always balance empathy with efficiency. And empathy comes a long way. You do not see the tangible benefits in a short time, but if you were to able to um, take care of the patient with compassion, um, through palliative care or through the compassionate care, it's about the holistic approach to take care of the patient from psychological, physical, um, and the people around them. So with compassion, care, and empathy care, you will see that the patient would be taken care with dignity, and also their caregivers and the family members would also be indirectly impacted.
Very well said. Mr. DM, very well said. So, what were the most significant lessons you learned during the career transition?
Significant lesson.
What were the
I would
most, yes, what were the most significant lessons you learned during this career transition?
I learned that in the corporate world, we focus heavily on strategic planning, efficiency, and measuring outcomes. And I find that this principle could be adapted into the healthcare sector as well. For example, like financial planning, we're able to create more sustainable funding models, incorporating that in planning and budget optimization. I also learned that we need to constantly listen and learn and redefine the balance. Um, we always could use our business acumen to support our work in compassionate and patient-centered care um, um, arena in the healthcare sector. It is important to always listen, learn, and collaborate. And collaboration is always the key to success.
Definitely. So, how did your perspective on success and fulfillment change as a result of this journey?
Sorry, can you ask the question again?
How did your perspective on success and fulfillment change as a result of this journey?
Right. I think my definition of success in this journey is about the holistic care and delivering what is best to a patient and the family. And it is always through the compassionate care that matters and to bring dignity to all the patients in their in their um, recovering journey that's with key importance. So success to me at this moment is to really bring resource and help to the low resource setup or low resource country and help them to build the necessary healthcare essential in terms of policy, um, essential medications availability, and even down to the patient care. And success to me would be when all the countries, whether you are affluent or low resourced, um, are able to have equity, access to good and quality hospice and palliative care. Then I think we will be very successful, and I'll be very glad to say that that's success.
Definitely 100% agree to you, Mr. JM. So, what
Yes.
unique leadership qualities are required in a palliative care compared to a corporate world?
Actually, the unique quality in whether in corporate or in healthcare sector is no difference. It's all about trust. And building trust is always the key to success. We all know, right? Building relationship in healthcare isn't just transactional. We build it on shared values, genuine care for people, and trust is always the basis to why we are successful. By showing trust, we also will eventually gain rapport and also respect from the community, from our peers, from us people that we work with, and that's always the key in the leadership that any whether it's corporate or the healthcare sector would need.
So, how do you motivate and support your team in such an emotional, challenging environment, such as the COVID era time?
Right, a very important question. I think all of us, in whether it's in COVID time or uh, especially in the healthcare sector, burnout is one of the killer, I would say, to everyone. Not only my staff, it's also to my peers and even my boss or myself. So I think one of the key things that we need to overcome is really to have self care. And from time to time, for example, if you know that a staff has worked for consecutively 12 hours or things like that, you would have to give them trust and respect that they have to manage their own self care. And in those times, you could actually render a pat on the back and tell them that, hey, since you worked late, yesterday, tomorrow or today, tomorrow you probably take some time off before you come to work again. And I think by giving such suggestion or pat on the back, it may help. And from time to time, I think the team rapport and support is also important. Building a trusted and supportive team within the work environment um, would actually help in overcoming stress and also providing necessary resource, for employees to unwind. I think that's all critical to, you know, um, self care of the employees.
So, Mr. GM, what strategies have you developed to balance compassion and professional boundaries?
Well, you have asked a very profound questions, yeah. But from my humble experience, I would think that bring in the corporate skills in the healthcare sectors. The first and foremost thing that I always do is valuing people, putting people up front in things that they do, putting people up front in decision making, putting people up front in compassionate ground is always key. So to me, taking care of the people would come first, and subsequently following by taking care of people. Next will be building systems. I think in all setup, whether it's corporate or healthcare, building the right system to support the work is very critical. So that whatever policies or procedures that is adopted is independent of people. The system is always there to guide the principles and to ensure that things are met through the right way. And thirdly, as I said, after people building the right system, it's really about sustainability. Yeah. So whether we like it or not, in the corporate or in the healthcare sector, we would need to think about sustaining the business or sustaining what we are doing right. So a very key important thing is to really build partnerships within the sector outside the sector and beyond what we are doing, and that will keep us sustainable. Yeah.
Definitely. So, Mr. GM, what will be your advice for those people out there want to follow your footstep?
That is also a very good question. Yeah. First and foremost, I think we need to approach it with humility and open mind, especially social healthcare sectors or in hospice care. It really requires a shift in the mindset. I would encourage anyone considering this path to focus on what I've mentioned before, learning and listening, because every experience, every patient, every volunteer that you encounter with has something to teach you. And also, don't underestimate the impact of your corporate skills. You really have the right skill to make a difference in, whether it's strategic thinking, resource management, or financial planning. You can really bring these skills, much needed skills, to support the non-profit organization or the healthcare sector. And lastly, most importantly, I would think that you need to connect with people who share the same mission, because this journey is really more meaningful when you have like-minded people working towards the same goal, which is compassion, holistic, and impactful care.
So, what are your short term and long term goals in writing as well as your new path?
Wow. I am really a newbie to writing the book. My short term goal and long term goal might be really just to advocate for hospice and palliative care. For short term, I would want to first share that moving from corporate into the healthcare sector um, is not easy, but is also not difficult. Um, with the right support and mindset, I wanted my book to be able to share and encourage more people from the corporate sector to shift and to move the skills into the healthcare sector or the non-profit sector, because you will find a lot of meaning in that, and that's where I want to share my experience um, in my in my book in the short term. For long term, I wish to see that I could develop and continue to write on my experience, um, as I journey through all the low resource and the affluent countries, on how to really integrate and help each other to learn and progress, especially in the field of hospice and palliative care, which is very new to some people. And hopefully, through my journey, through sharing my journey in the long term, more people will get to know that in the compassionate and patient-centered care world, there's this field called hospice and palliative care, and journeying with the patient with dignity to the end of the life is actually as important as a childbirth. So let's journey with me, with um, what I've learned, and hopefully one day I wish that my book will go to many people, and to encourage equity access to hospice and health care.
Yes. And Mr. GM, good luck to your goals. And how do you handle the emotional toll of working with the end of life patients and their families?
That is an excellent question. I'm actually an administrator, and I always ask this question with the healthcare professionals like the doctors and nurses, um, uh, that I worked with. And in this journey, I learned that you have to treat all patients, and even the caregivers and family members, um, with dignity and always listen to them. Um, at the end of the day, like I said, while you celebrate childbirth, you could also celebrate your journey um, as you work towards end of life. And as long as we have holistically answered to the patient's family, and listen to them and providing them with the best dignity of care. And I think that would be the uh, best healing uh, journey, or you will feel just complete, and this will be what you we have done our best, and providing the dignity to the patient, the family member will be the best path forward. Yeah.
What obstacles have you faced in advocating for better palliative care services?
Many obstacles. Yeah, I think all of us are not born equal. So are the country's resources. So in some of the low resource setup, low resource country, where essential medication is not even available, cancer care is not available. So how do they even think about um, differentiating care to the patient? So I think one of the challenge, or many of the challenges, would actually be bringing advocacy and talking about hospice and palliative care to the governments, making awareness, to make sure that the government has the right policy. So it's only when the government has the right policy, then the Ministry of Health would know and seek help in shaping the right policies. And with the policies in place, only when then the hospital would have the right resource passed down from the governments for them to develop the right kind of care. So the challenges are really ranging from awareness to government policies to funding model to hospital awareness and down to the healthcare professionals training. I think one of the key success to delivering hospice and palliative care would be to train the healthcare professionals on how to do their work well.
So, how does your journey reflect the importance of following one's passion and purpose?
Sorry, could you rephrase the question?
Yes, how does your journey reflect the importance of following one's passion and purpose?
How
So,
does my journey?
yes, uh, what gives you motivate you more to do what you like best?
Okay, that's well. One of the best things that could happen to a person, um, uh, like myself, would be you are able to do work, your work, and
Yes.
as well as you're able to contribute to the you know, uh, you're able to do charity work as your work. I think that is the most important, because while you uh, are when you know that you work hard, and at the end of the day, it's really the ripples effect that you are creating. Um, I may be an administrator to a non-profit organization, but I know, and my employees, they all know that at the end of the day, the impact that we have created is far beyond what we can imagine. And there are many lives that would be benefiting from our work that we do.
Very well said, Mr. Dion. Very well said. My passion is to give back to the people that creating books to the world. So I created this podcast, Book 101 Review. Even I'm so tired, I have the dedication to do this. I have the passion to do this. So I love it. I love what I'm doing. So to sum up our discussion, Mr. GM, what insights does your story offer about finding meaning and fulfillment in one's career?
Sorry, can you ask the question
Yes.
again?
What
Understand.
insights does your story offer about finding meaning and fulfillment in one's career?
Mm. I think as we grow and as we um uh journey through our life, you will find that it's really we are at different level of needs. If you look at the Maslow hierarchy of needs, um, in our early 2030s, we may be just working because we need food, we need the basic necessity. But as we progress, we learn and we are equipped with better skills. It is time then to think about what are the impact in lives that you would like to make, and it's really about moving towards the highest level where Maslow talk about the self-actualization. And uh, there's really not a profound science. It's really to approach the journey of your work with humility and open mind. And as you progress, you will find that the journey will be more meaningful. You will find that your family will be there to support you. People around there will be supporting you if you choose the right path um, to do meaningful work in life. Yeah.
Yes, so Mr. GM, thank you so much for sharing your book to the world, and we are looking forward for more empowering books like this. So Mr. GM, can you please invite our listeners to support A New Path?
Yes, thank you, Daniel, for having me on your platform. And I also want to congratulate you to doing your good work in promoting books for the author. And thank you for the opportunity. And to all the listeners and readers out there, do take a look at my book, A New Path: My Journey from Corporate into Hospice and Palliative Care Leadership. It's really my humble journey to share with you that moving from corporate into hospice care is really another part of my life. And do check in my LinkedIn if you like to link up with more with me. Thank you.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. GM. Because if you support him, as I said, more empowering books like this to come. So, Mr. GM, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. Have a good day.
More to come, people. See you soon. So, Mr. GM, I'm